it surrounds a fictional Instagram account called Juniper Shores Socialite. The town is obviously Juniper Shores. And Juniper Shores Socialite was inspired by a lot of things, but a couple of towns over from where I grew up, had a real life true gossip column where, every week they were dishing the dirt on everybody in this neighborhood, but they didn't use their names. But like, it's not a very big town. So when it said, like, what orthopedic surgeon's wife, like, well, you knew who it was. I mean, it was maybe one of two people, but you knew who it was. It was like that kind of thing. And I was always just like fascinated by the idea that they could get away with this, but somehow it was like the engine that sort of ended up fueling this town. And so when I set out to write Beach House Rules, I knew there was going to be this sort of like scandal in the middle of it. And a man that's accused of a white collar crime, and it sort of makes his family fall apart. But I didn't want it to feel heavy. Like, I wanted it to feel kind of fun. And so I think the Instagram posts were like a light way of really bringing home this idea that what we perceive and what is reality are very different things, but that our perception 100% shapes our reality. So if everyone in town is saying, you know, this person did this, or these women in this commune are doing this, or I mean, then if that's the perception, then that becomes the reality. And a lot of times it's actually not true, which is just, fascinating. I think we see it all the time these days. Like, it's hard to know what truth really is. I wish that I could say that I created the word commune. I did not. So communes were something that kind of came into my vernacular. Again, this is so bizarre. Beach House Rules is my 12th book. Summer State of Mind is my 13th. I have never written a book inspired by anything that I've ever seen, like in the news or read an article about, but 2 books in a row I did, which is so interesting. But Beach House Rules, I saw some women on Good Morning America, actually, like a couple of years ago, and they came on and they were talking about their commune, which is a slang term for a mom commune. And it's not actually a commune. They're not, I mean, I guess it could be, but mostly it's just women who have found themselves as single mothers for whatever reason. And a lot of these communes started because it's just really financially difficult to make it as a single mother. Or, a single part in general. I mean, it's hard to afford living expenses and all of these things. And so a lot of them kind of came together for financial reasons, but then ended up being like, wow, this is amazing to have, all these moms under one roof. And I just was fascinated by that idea. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have to write about this. And so Charlotte, who is the wife of the man accused of the white collar crime, is locked out of her house because he has a home office and, the feds are searching her home. And so she's invited to live at this, quote, commune with this group of mothers. And she does not want to, but she has nowhere to go for a variety of reasons, which you learn in the novel. And she and her daughter Iris move in and are really excited about, kind of what they find there. Like, it ends up being a good experience for them, even though it was something that they did not want to do. But I will say my commune in this book is not, it's maybe not a long-term living situation. It kind of becomes like a launching pad for each of these women as they're trying to, heal from past wounds and kind of move on to the next chapter of their lives. And but they were really fun to write.